It seems not a day passes when there isn't a report of police insensitivity. In the latest incident, a young woman apparently inebriated and in the company of a friend was beaten by a policeman in Ghaziabad in the National Capital Region. What comes as a surprise is the reaction of the chairman of the Delhi Commission for Women, who says we should be strict with our children, and if that girl was drunk, and to make her understand, police have taken some steps. I don't think that it is wrong. Is it not wrong for the police to hit a 23-year-old woman? Then there's the larger issue of morality. Yes, drinking in public is illegal, but was it really that wrong for a young woman in the company of a friend to drink inside a car? Is the law archaic in some situations? You're watching The Buck Stops Here. I'm Vishnu Shom. Here's our top story.
Another stark case of police insensitivity while dealing with a woman. On camera, a young woman is slapped by a cop and then roughed up by other people as more policemen watch. This inside a Ghaziabad police station. The incident has sparked an intense debate about police insensitivity. But the police alleges that the young girl was found in a compromising position with a friend in a parked car. Police say that the girl was drunk and when confronted by local residents, she misbehaved and abused.
पुलिस वाले ने मेरे साथ बदसलूकी की है तभी मैंने की है। जब वो उल्टा सीधा बोलेंगे ऑब्वियसली यार गाली बके जाएगी। ऑब्वियसली यार अगर किसी पर अश्लील बातें उड़ाई जाए, चाहे पुलिस वाला हो चाहे आम इंसान हो, तो उसको जरूरत क्या है कि वो हमें ऐसी बात बोले।
The police allege that a woman, a resident of Goa, was spotted by local residents last night sitting in a car with a 24-year-old male friend from Delhi.
उसे यही पता ना तेरे कपड़े कहाँ, तेरी चप्पल कहाँ, तेरा नशा कहाँ, और ना बेचारा उन्होंने कहा उन्होंने तो और इज्जत बचाई है उसकी भी।
Police say that the residents brought the woman and her friend to the Sahibabad police station where she was thrashed by the sub-inspector caught on camera. Police have now booked the girl under serious charges of obscenity and drinking in public and even assaulting a government official. The law says that a woman cannot be detained at a police station after sundown and male cop cannot as much as touch her. The Ghaziabad police have promised action against the sub-inspector who struck the girl, only if he is found guilty.
लड़की ने थाने में आके पुलिस वालों को उसको ड्यूटी परफॉर्म करने में वो किया है, उसको इंडल्ज किया है, तो इस पे पुलिस ने अपनी तरफ से एफआईआर लॉन्च कराया है। ये बात पूरा फुटेज में है और अगर ये सही पाया गया तो डेफिनेटली इस पे एक्शन किया जाएगा।
But what's more shocking is the response of the chairman of the Delhi Commission of Women, who has justified police's action.
हमें हमारे बच्चों को भी थोड़ा कंट्रोल में रखना चाहिए और ये कि अगर उसने शराब पी है जैसा कि आप बता रहे हैं और उसके लिए उसने उसको समझाने के लिए कोई ऐसी घटना की है तो मैं नहीं समझती हूँ कि उसमें कोई गलत बात है। अगर बच्चों को हम भी अपने बच्चों को डांटते हैं मारते हैं उनको सुधारने के लिए, बाकी कानून हाथ में तो किसी को भी नहीं लेना चाहिए, ये भी बात है।
This is not the first time police insensitivity has come to the fore. Last month, an ACP was suspended for slapping a girl on camera in New Delhi. Earlier on, in Aligarh, a woman was slapped repeatedly by cops. That was also caught on camera. Clearly, the girl along with the male friend was caught on the wrong side of the law. In fact, eyewitnesses also telling us that she even slapped a 60-year-old male constable in an intoxicated state of mind. But does that in any way justify police's action of slapping a 23-year-old girl inside a police compound blatantly in front of television cameras? With Pintu Tomar in Ghaziabad, Sonal Mehrotra for NDTV.
So what is this all about? Is this a culture of insensitivity in the police force? Bizarre remarks by the chairman of the Delhi Commission for Women? Or is it the fault of the young couple? Joining me now to discuss this, Arun Kumar, ADG Law and Order in Uttar Pradesh, Kiran Bedi, former IPS officer, also with us over here, and Kavita Krishnan, Secretary of AIPWA. Thank you all very much for joining us. Mr. Kumar, let me come to you first. indulging in obscene activities in a public place, section 94, disturbing peace and drinking in public, section 34 UP Police Act, assault on and obstructing a public servant from doing his duty, section 353. Very serious charges against a 23-year-old. How did this situation get out of hand?
Vishnu, let me clarify first. This is a very unfortunate incident that has happened last evening in Ghaziabad, and the sequence of events that has happened, some of them are on camera, some are not on the camera. The incident started happening in Salimar Garden area, when the Resident Welfare Association people and the residents of that particular people came and they found this young couple in a drunken condition, and according to them they were in a compromising position, and they started maltreating them, beating them, something like that, and then the police intervened, rescued the couple from that particular spot, brought them to the police station. And there are two FIRs in this particular case. The first FIR that has been registered by the member of the RWA who has given the complaint, and suo motu, based on that the case has been registered under section 160 IPC and 294 IPC.
Right.
Now in the police station where the people, just a minute, and now the second part of it. The second part of it, that when the police started writing the report and preparing for taking the couple for the medical examination for the consumption of alcohol and all those things, the girl picks a fight with the people who accompanied police from Salimar Garden, and then there is a scuffle within the police campus. So in fact today unfortunately the SSP Ghaziabad was not in the city. He had come to Allahabad for a court case. City SP was also in Lucknow for a meeting. So we couldn't get the whole picture, and that's why we have asked for the whole video footage to find out that particular second part, that whether the police has slapped or the scuffle that is being showed on your video footage. So what are the facts on that? We have ordered an inquiry against that.
You know, Mr. Kumar, I understand what you're saying, and you know, and you've gone through the sequence of events by and large. But you know, we have also seen that footage, and I've personally seen that footage, and I've personally seen about 10 minutes of an interview which was when a mic was forcibly thrust in the face of this 23-year-old woman in the police station. How local media could be allowed to get in over there in a situation as sensitive like this, ask her whether she was a prostitute, ask her if she was in a compromising position, ask her if she was educated, and ask her a bunch of extremely intrusive questions, whether that was correct. This happened within the police station. We will talk about that episode of the policeman hitting her. We certainly will. But how could this happen, sir?
Basically the issue is that I told you about the second part, when the girl was brought to the police station, and that from there we have to inquire the whole incident, how it had happened, and we have asked for the whole video footage. We have ordered for an inquiry about that, and once we get the inquiry report, then we will be in a position to comment that how it has happened. But the video footage that is being shown time and again, it seems that the problem or the scuffle that has been going on has there are many people around there. So it's very difficult to decipher that what is happening.
In as much as
it will take some time.
The scuffle.
Yeah, go ahead, Kavita.
Yeah, I want to say something about this so-called what you're calling a scuffle. I did see the footage very carefully. There is this woman who says she's a neighbor, who this girl, the 23-year-old girl, is sitting on a sofa. She is nowhere trying to incite a scuffle or incite as you just said. Rather, this woman is allowed to come, walk up to her, pull at her clothes and say, look at you, you're dressed as good as naked, and then start slapping her around, at which she responds, she reacted in her defense. And you're calling that a scuffle. Even now, after all this, after it's become such an issue, I'm amazed that you're looking at that footage and calling it a scuffle.
We're playing that footage, yes.
And now I want to add here that clearly the neighbors have called the police what they consider obscenity is the clothes that girl is wearing and the fact that she was with this man. We do not have any evidence that any greater obscenity than that was occurring, because the neighbor herself in the footage which is available clearly says that we called because she was in an intoxicated state, she was with this man and she was dressed in this man.
And Kavita, let me interrupt you there. Sir, the other point is, if you listen to that 10-minute clip, and we aren't playing it because it is full of obscenities, but this young woman seems to be somebody who's on the defensive. Yes, she is abusing, but that's because she's been asked all of these intrusive questions.
Very abusive questions.
She is extremely coherent. She is extremely logical, right? And whatever she may be charged with, this allegation of drunkenness and incoherence, and that has provoked this entire incident, sir, it seems to be rather exaggerated.
Well, it's
Mr. Kumar, go ahead. Mr. Kumar, go ahead, and then I'll bring in my other panelists.
Yeah. Basically, all these inferences that you are telling, this is basically based on the medical report. The medical examination of the couple says that they were in a drunken state, and now the investigation to the two cases are registered, and the investigation will proceed, and they will take into consideration the statements of all the witnesses. They will take into consideration the medical examination report, that they will take into consideration the whole video footage which is available with the various channels, and based on that we'll investigate the case.
So you're throwing the book at me, sir, and I understand that you're bound to do that.
Let me complete.
But sir, this is a case of sensitivity, sir, and it's a sensitivity of people in that area, sensitivity of the police as well. I'm certain, sir, you've got the laws correct, sir. You know the laws inside out.
No,
but
even on the law,
it's a question of sensitivity, sir, over here.
Even on the law, the Obscenity Act,
Vishnu,
Vishnu, I just want to quickly say this, that
Kavita, just 1 second, let him finish his point, I'll come to you next. Mr. Kumar, make your point, I won't interrupt you, go ahead.
Yeah, my point is basically that what you are telling, that there are the rights of the other people also who are living in a area in the night, and what is happening over there, they have made a complaint to the police. If the police doesn't react on that, don't do anything, then also will that be a proper? Police should not react to the other
fair point.
that something is happening
that's
there.
Exactly what
I'm
fair point.
That's exactly
quick comment before I bring in my other
Justice Krishna Iyer in a Supreme Court judgment said this very clearly, that this section 294, which is the Obscenity Act, has to be treated with great care, because it should not become a public path on which a highwayman wearing the mask of morality can march. Okay, and so the police has to treat this with great care, so that I'm just saying, we are a society that doesn't consider it obscene when men relieve themselves in public, but we are considering it obscene when a girl wears a certain kinds of clothes, and that is what the neighbor is saying, that she was wearing these clothes and she was with this man inside a car, and that is what has provoked all of this.
Okay, I just want to bring in Ranjana Kumari, Director, Center for Social Research as well, who's been joining us. But Kiran Bedi, let me come to you first. You made an important point this morning, because you felt that you weren't being completely quoted. Because when you were asked a question about this particular incident and what it said, you felt that there were two aspects of it. One, it was wrong for the policeman to have hit this girl, and you also feel that it was wrong for this woman to have been in the position that she was in, to be in that situation which you believe is illegal. In hindsight, ma'am, do you really think there was something terribly wrong that she did?
Well, there's one small wrong and there's the other very big wrong.
And you're going to say two wrongs don't make a right.
I'm so not even saying there is a wrong, because drinking liquor in a public place is a legal wrong. It's under the 34 of the Police Act, if you wish.
Absolutely.
If you go to the Delhi Excise Act, it would be the UP Excise Act.
I have a list of those acts.
So if you go by UP Excise and it's outdated, the point is that's a minor legal wrong. The point is a minor legal wrong has been absolutely mishandled. The minor legal wrong was a wrong, and people had a right to complain. They complained, and that is a public nuisance. That's also in the law. So there is a complaint against public nuisance, and if they were becoming a public nuisance, or they were, that's only the investigation will say. But there is a complainant. Police responded to a complaint. There's no denying that they were having liquor inside the car. Whether they were obscene or not, that we don't know. But the point is,
ma'am, they were drinking liquor inside a car. People drink liquor in their veranda as well. Is that wrong?
In cars in Delhi.
I'm sorry.
In cars in Delhi.
The definition of a public area.
Can I complete?
In Delhi,
Who is being asked whom? Am I being asked a question?
No, you are being asked.
Thank
Go
you so
right
much,
ahead.
Vishnu. I thought you asked me.
No. I asked you and then I interrupted.
If you have all the answers, then please answer them. Then I don't need to be here.
I'm trying to find the answers.
So I'm giving you my balanced viewpoint.
Sure.
The viewpoint is, here is a legal wrong, whether it's minor, whether it's big. You are not supposed to be drinking in public place. Now, if you tell me everybody drinks, what happened if
that doesn't justify?
That doesn't justify.
Right.
So, second, if police has been reported to, police is duty bound to respond. Police has responded. There's a complaint. Police has responded. There's a legal wrong, whether it's minor or it's major. That's why it's minor, because there's a fine with it. There's a minor imprisonment with it if there is a major public nuisance. That's it. But how did the police handle it? I think it overdid it. It mishandled it. That's all. So on the mishandling, there is no giving in. They will have to be dealt with because the police is refusing to move on. We've all moved on. Expectations have moved on. But this police is not moving on. That's the tragedy of it.
Okay. Ranjana Kumari, how do you see this? Kiran Bedi making the point that there are two sides of this. Two things which were wrong. It was legally wrong for this couple to be, apparently they were drunk, apparently they were in a quote-unquote compromising position, and it was wrong for the police to do what they did. A lot of people believe that in the first instance, this was a young couple, they were in a car, they were drinking. It shouldn't necessarily have offended people to the extent that it did. That's one way of looking at it. Do you agree?
Well, Vishnu, there is basically, when you look at the ways people are responding to young people meeting together, holding hands, hugging each other, even kissing each other is compromising position. Now, how do you really define? Is it that two of them were nude? Is it that two of them were trying to engage in some kind of a sexual act? I think this is really the way you perceive the whole relationship between a young man and a woman. In our society, sitting in the park, a young man and a woman will be hauled by the police, will be beaten up. Many a times we have seen such kind of moral policing done by police themselves. So in society, of course, neighborhood is not kind to two young couple or two young boyfriend and girlfriend. So that's what the neighborhood is all about, that you don't, and home is not kind because no parent want to allow girls and boys to bring a girl to bring the boyfriend home. How many families will allow Indian girls to bring their boyfriend home? So where should they go? How should they meet? What should they do? So that's one question. The other thing is, even if I agree with Kiran Bedi, there was something wrong in drinking in public place, which I don't think standing car parked in their neighborhood was any kind of public place. They were inside the car. But anyway, legally if it was, then also how do you justify behavior of police? In allowing the media to come in and ask those kind of obscene questions, to allow the neighbor women to behave the way she behaved and slapped, to allow the police to do. Many a times we are seeing police taking the law onto themselves. They themselves become the lawbreakers. So who will hold them accountable? How can you really allow police to behave the way they are behaving with women? And why it is only beating this girl? Why only beating this girl, the girl who was drunk, who was wearing skimpy clothes? What about the boy who was with her? What about that man? Nobody said anything to him. I mean, it's amazing the way girls have been targeted every time. First you don't allow them to be together. You don't, neither at home, nor on the street, nor in the park, and then when they are arrested by the police because they are so-called creating obscenity in public, then this is how the police behaves with them.
Okay.
What kind of a justification?
Okay, I want Kiranji to answer, to sort of come in with your views on what Ranjana Kumari had to say, and then I'll come across.
I've already clearly said, on one hand there's a legal misdemeanor.
She's talking about a larger issue over here. Do you agree with that larger issue, that young couples don't have space to sort of engage in any way? They cannot sit in a car and drink alone.
Do you know?
If they were in a quote-unquote compromised position, it's because there's a larger society issue.
This is exactly the reason why I insisted on telling, it was basically reaching out to the people to say, you must know the law. that if you're drinking in a public
Ma'am, you
place.
back this law. I mean, I'm certain you know what the larger issues are.
No.
It's an issue of a young couple unable to get the privacy that they sought.
No. But if it is transcending the law, I'm afraid the law will take its own course.
Sure.
So
I'm only questioning whether the law is right or wrong, or whether it's
100%. You do not know the amount of public nuisance which comes about. This may be not.
Was this a case of nuisance?
Listen,
if in your mind.
If not nuisance to you, nuisance to the neighbors.
Sure.
Then no. If it's 1 minute, let me complete. If it's a nuisance to the neighbor, who are you and I to judge, and who is the police to judge? It's a complaint against nuisance.
No, that's an important point. What is the bar? What is the bar over here?
That's precisely, Vishnu. That is precisely the kind of at one level gender blindness, at the other level a double standard in society. Because when we are saying, Kiranji is saying that men drink, and older men. I know so many older respected men with very respectable jobs in Delhi who regularly sit in cars and drink. It's called karobar in Delhi. It's a regular culture. But I'm saying, Kiranji will say, oh, that doesn't justify this, because in this case someone complained. But if you're really talking about gender sensitivity, not gender blindness, then you have to realize that why a neighbor will complain at this and will not complain when men and older men are sitting and drinking. Why this issue of young people sitting together becomes an issue and not older men sitting around drinking, even if they are making sexist jokes, whatever. That is not considered public nuisance. Why is that the case? Is something which then relates to the way patriarchal society and its double standards operate. As I said, men who unzip their pants and relieve themselves in public is not considered obscene in our society.
That's also part of the Police Act. Obscene. You don't take any action, you may not. If you read the Police Act of 1861, easing out in public is an offence. It's considered obscenity. But
no, I'm
just because you doesn't take action,
I don't want
doesn't mean it's not an offence. It is an
offence. Me. I'm also saying that I don't want that the boy should be who was with her should be slapped about.
I'm
not saying that.
Let me ask Mr. Kumar that. Mr. Kumar, and maybe we all reflect the deep sexism that exists in our society, but I find that this discussion is not at all about that boy who was with that young woman, right? It's only about the woman, because that's what everybody seems to have focused on. People in that area were focused on her, that there was that resident who came and slapped her, she was focused on her, the journalist was focused on her, the police went and slapped her, there was a man over there who was also apparently part of this crime, he may have been booked, but nobody is talking about him. Why are we so, is that the problem, that this is a deeply sexist mindset which many people have? Mr. Kumar.
Yeah, Vishnu, I will just like to focus myself on the police issues.
Sure.
Basically, to start with what you are telling, that the two persons drinking in a car, if the person is drinking in a car, he will drive the car. There will be consequences of that.
But they weren't driving.
Just a minute. They didn't come without driving. They won't have. It's not that way. Static car. The car came from some place. The car would have gone to some other place.
That's an assumption.
Again, yes, that's an issue.
That's an issue. From the car and walked out. How do you know they would have driven the car?
Let me complete, please. Let me complete. I'll request you to let me complete, please. Because the car came from some place, the car would have been, let's presume that there would have been no complaint and the things would not have come to a public knowledge. The car would have been driven to some place after drunken condition. So,
and then you say that this is a minor issue. The car left it there and gone off somewhere. How do you know?
Again,
this is a completely crazy assumption.
Can I?
And again,
okay, Ranjana ji, just one sec. Let Mr. Kumar make his point, and then I'll come to both of you. Mr. Kumar, please go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah. Now the issue is that particular whatever has happened, whatever nuisance has been created to the residents, that has been informed to the police. Police has gone there. I mean, the people were around. They were trying to misbehave. They have brought the couple safely to the police station. Now when they are taking some actions, the other people have come, and in between in the night there are no lady constable over there to handle this, all these precautions, because I said that it's also a matter of investigation and inquiry, that whether the lady constables could have been brought at that particular time to protect that particular girl or not. That can be another issue as far as the police handling is concerned. And then in the meantime, I mean, this lady in the green sari, there we see that there is some scuffle with that. Then the police intervenes in that. Then what has happened? And after that, they had gone for the medical examination. After medical examination, they have been allowed to go. They have been allowed to go on bail. So this is the whole incident that prima facie seems.
And sir, they are hiding because they are frightened and they are scared.
Now can I say
Ranjana Kumari, go ahead. Ranjana Kumari, go ahead now.
Yes, I want to ask him the question. The couple was in the custody of the police. How this woman in green sari walks in and how does she slap this girl? What kind of a police station is that? What kind of a jurisdiction do you have inside the police station that under your custody a couple is sitting inside and woman walks in and slaps? So who should be charged for that offence? And secondly, it is not nuisance because as long as two of them were inside their car, whatever they were hugging, they were kissing, doing whatever is not a nuisance. How you interpret the nuisance, and that is why you are actually blaming the woman all the time. This is the
but
mindset.
Mr. Kumar, let's be honest over here. Mr. Kumar, let's understand what probably happened over here. There were residents in that particular colony who were irritated with the presence of this young couple over there. There would have been somebody who went up to those couple and they made comments. They made comments to that girl. They probably did imply that she was a prostitute. They probably did say things which questioned her morality, raised these issues.
Yes.
Right? That is what triggered this episode. So let's face it. We live in society. I mean, I'm sorry, this sounds like a generalization, but this is what concerns people, and the police are obliged to act. It's an issue of morality. It goes beyond the law as well.
The police also, but I think I need to say this here before Mr. Kumar responds. Mr. Kumar, before you respond, please do understand. See, we come up with many such cases, okay, where the police, recently in my hometown, Bhilai, also same thing happened, okay, where the police started rounding up couples who were at ice cream parlors and all in public places. Now, when they were asked, why were you doing that? They said, oh, we got some complaints from some dukandar. Now, I'm saying, just because you get a complaint, the police is not some kind of gender blind body. It has to assess whether or not, and you do assess. When we go with a sexual harassment complaint, then the police says we are taking 20 days to file an FIR because we are still investigating. We are assessing. Okay, this is happening in a sexual harassment case now in Delhi. Now, in this case, you don't feel the need to assess. You don't feel the need to judge. You don't feel the need to use restraint and judgment. You feel the need to just act as a blind arm of the moral policing kind of community. That is a huge problem. Here, had you assessed, had you told the couple, advised the couple that all right, you should leave your car, you should go. Okay, maybe if it is bothering people, there are so many things you can do. Okay, but to make it immediately to escalate things by bringing her in the middle of the night, bringing a young woman to the police station. Why do you need to do that? And then allowing this woman to come, and then you still, Mr. Kumar called it a scuffle. He called it a scuffle. This woman attacking that girl, he called it a scuffle. You called it a scuffle. Please do answer.
And also, how can you take her in the night?
Exactly.
How can you? Yes, Mr. Kumar, one more question. After sunset, the law stipulates that you cannot take a woman without presence of a woman police. So where was the woman police in your police station?
Mr. Kumar, go ahead.
Ma'am, I have clarified. Ma'am, I have clarified in the beginning. There is two part of the story. The first part what happened in the Shalimar Garden. Unfortunately, we are not having any video footage, so that we sitting here can make a judgment on that. So that will certainly a part of the investigation. That what actually happened. That what was informed to me that basically they were attacked by the people of the resident, and that's why they were brought to the police station. I agree that bringing the girl at the police station at that point of time was not a proper thing. She should have, if the medical examination was needed, she should have been directly taken to the hospital, and the paper could have been completed over there. And that's why I told that all the second part that has happened at the police station is a matter of inquiry, and we have ordered the inquiry for that. And once we get the report, we will take the proper action on that. And once I will submit one more point, that in such circumstances we tend to generalize all the cases equally. That this happened in Bulandshahr, this happened in the Delhi police, this happened in that place. So the police is going through by the same yardstick. No two incident is alike.
No, we're not going into other incidents here now.
All incidents are different. All incidents are different.
No, this particular incident only, let's stay. Even if
this only shows the colossal homework which awaits the police department. Colossal.
No, but
this is what it is.
Let Kiranji go ahead.
Yeah. It only talks about the huge challenge. There's a big gap between our expectations and what police can deliver today. I think there is no concerted effort, combined concerted effort of the community and the government to narrow this gap. Why is there so much of gap? Because our expectations are very high. We're looking for highest quality, highest sensitivity, very knowledgeable, very sharp and perfect, right? And also very well resourced. but it has almost nothing. I think we need to narrow this gap. Otherwise, that is why every second day we are into the studio talking about these issues.
Now, I want Mr. Kumar to say, why have all these cases been slapped on this girl now? When you're saying that investigation is yet to be done, you haven't done investigation yet, then why have these cases been slapped against her? Not only that, in the investigation, you're going to have this entire community which is all going to speak in one voice against the girl. Okay, she's not going to find supporters there. Now, this girl herself is saying that I used abusive language. She says that when those patrakars are asking her that I used abusive language because the police called me a prostitute, because they used obscene language at me, that they made innuendos at me. And it's very clear that the neighbors also have done that. And instead of recognizing that, you have immediately gone and filed complaints against her, including even the policeman who's accused of slapping her is apparently, about to or has already filed a case against her. Now, why is this the case? If you're saying investigation has not been done, you're obviously prejudiced, because why have you already filed cases against her when you haven't yet filed cases against the police? Why not file an FIR against the police guy immediately?
Mr. Kumar, go ahead.
Ma'am, you have started on the presumption that the girl is innocent, she has done no wrong in consuming the
why are you presuming she is guilty?
She was totally coherent.
No, but
she was totally coherent despite the medical examination.
If they take alcohol, they are guilty already.
I don't think. I'm telling that. I'm not telling that, ma'am. Please.
No.
Ma'am, please.
Women, if they consume alcohol, Mr. Kumar, you think they are already guilty?
I have not interrupted.
But Ranjana ji, I will come to you next. Let Mr. Kumar make his point.
Ma'am, I am telling that you are telling that she was coherent and whatever she is telling is right. And what has happened, but you have taken a position. That my point is that my humble position that you have already taken a position. No, I have not taken a position. I am total open. I am total open to the inquiry and investigation.
Saying if you haven't done your investigation, you're still saying we don't know what happened there because we don't have footage, we don't know. So you're going by your police person's versions or by the community version. We may go by the woman's version. That's a different matter. But I'm saying if you haven't investigated yet, then why have you filed FIRs against her? You haven't yet filed FIRs against a cop who's slapping her on video, caught on camera. You still haven't filed an FIR against him. You're saying we'll investigate, but you're saying you haven't finished your investigation about this entire incident, and yet you have made an assumption already.
Let him answer. Everybody's. It's important. Mr. Kumar, go ahead. Yes.
This is a basic presumption that a case can be investigated only when the FIR is registered. After registration of the FIR, the investigation starts. So that FIR may be right, that FIR may be wrong. So that is a basic requirement that has been done. 2 FIR have been registered in this case, and now the investigation will start. And this is not even the 24 hours that has
register an FIR against the cop.
All right, Ranjana Kumari, go ahead with your point.
Investigate later.
No, I think let me ask him, Mr. Kumar. FIR has been registered against this woman. That's what you're trying to say. That is basis. What are the different legal charges that you have slapped against her? Can you just talk about those charges? What are the charges you have slapped against her?
Obscenity.
No, again I will clarify. Again, I would like to clarify that we have slapping of the charge. The case has been registered by a third person, a resident from the Shalimar Garden, who has given the FIR. Police in the matter of this 294 and 160 that we are discussing, police had not registered any FIR. The FIR has been given by the resident of that particular mohalla.
Okay, fair enough.
No, but what is the... No, listen to me. What about the policeman?
Disturbing peace and drinking in public.
What about police station?
No. Obscenity.
What about police? No woman police and she was confined to the custody. Are these not charges? Should this not be slapped against someone who was responsible?
You're all using the wrong word.
After the medical examination, she was released on bail. She was not confined to the police station. She was not arrested. So, this was not.
I don't understand one thing, sir. Why was a medical examination required? Sir, does the police conduct medical examinations of everybody who is drinking,
to the police station?
No, Mr. Kumar, I just want to know from you, why has no FIR yet been registered for the cops who brought her to the police station in the middle of the night, for those who slapped her, for those who allowed the woman to slap her? This is what Ranjana ji is asking, this is what I am asking. Can you tell me, you can register an FIR and then investigate
Mr. Kumar,
later.
go ahead, answer
so
that. Last word to Mr. Kumar, and then we have to end this program, this debate. Go ahead, Mr. Kumar.
Yeah, my point, I told you today the problem was that SSP Ghaziabad was in Allahabad in a court case.
So what?
City SP Ghaziabad was in Lucknow, and that's why no senior officer was present at the spot. They have reached today in the evening. I have asked them to look into the whole matter.
You can make it happen.
Whatever the appropriate action to be taken today. Give us time. Not even the 24-hour has passed. Give us time.
But you registered an FIR against
all
the
right,
girl,
okay,
no?
all
Without
right.
waiting.
Give us time.
What a
Let's hope.
flimsy excuse.
But I think, Mr. Kumar, based, and we can't show this footage. You will have that same footage. What we saw was a young woman, 23 years old, extremely frightened, extremely scared, being asked questions by some journalist who asked her if she is a prostitute, if she is educated, of a woman in that mohalla who went up to her and slapped her, of having been brought to a police station by a policeman, some other policeman slapped her. This isn't to say it was right for her to hit anybody, not at all, but the circumstances of this case need to be looked at closely. Hopefully the police will do that. Hopefully these incidents don't get repeated, otherwise we're going to be right back over here discussing this all over again. Thank you all very much for joining us. Thank you very much indeed. Well, it's time now for